Hello and welcome once again to Hard Times. My name is Chris. We're now hit episode 5, lads. Can't believe we've got here, but we have got here. I'm joined again by the wonderful Luke Watson, known as
Hello.
the Gypsy King wannabe, and Jordan. I've just had a haircut by Joel Hard.
Mm.
So yeah, lads, how are we doing? Episode 5.
Episode 5, boys.
Yeah.
Mm.
How's
Yep,
things?
lockdown has really hit us hard now.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can
How's
see
it for
by the
you?
state of our haircuts.
Yeah, my hair's growing back. I was bald at the start of this, and I thought, oh, I'm going to be one of those cool people that shaves their heads. And then Luke writes a little rap or something about dissing us all for shaving our heads and going crazy.
Yeah, it was because I think it's mainly because of Harry. Actually, I didn't.
Yeah.
Harry shaved his head, and
Well, he was a bit of a shock.
Jordan made a derogatory comment, didn't he? I'm not going to repeat it, but
No. But Harry is Harry, and he will be the height of Rach with the baldness of Ant. So that's probably how he's going to go.
it was just funny, really. I don't really have anything against bald people. If you want to be bald, you be bald. You know.
Yeah. I know who's going to go bald first. Is it going to be me or Jordan? Because I've
I'm
got
not sure. I don't think I'm like. I think I'm.
It depends if Joel's cutting your hair.
I mean, your forehead's got bigger. I mean, you're starting to look like Ant now, out of Ant and Dec. That's a big
In
forehead.
2 years, it's significantly reduced. I'll say that much. But I think it's stabilizing. Like we flattened the peak of this receding.
You flattened the curve.
That's good. That's good. COVID terminology there. Flattening the curve.
Yeah. Jordan, how's it going down the south coast? You've got a companion living with you now, giving you a little bit of light-hearted relief.
Yeah. 5 weeks by yourself, and it destroys your brain. I didn't think it was getting that bad. My only social interaction was with shopkeepers, and then you actually experience someone coming to live with you, and you just forget how to talk. And so I'm on the rise.
Were you like talking to yourself? Because I can imagine you a little bit like Will Smith and I Am Legend, like talking to mannequins and stuff like that.
So, if only the sheep were there now. But there's some. Like, I'd talk to the bunny rabbits, and I'd be like, "Oh, you having a good day?" It's like, "Oh no, not talking again." Cool. But I'll tell you what's happened.
I love how Jordan just no holds barred shares.
I'll tell you what's happened in the last few weeks.
We don't want to know what happened with the sheep.
No, or the
No,
rabbits.
it's amazing. It's the best thing ever. So I decided that I've become the master of the flock, and I stand at the gate and I sing to them. And when I sing to them, they all come running towards me. I have to squeak the gate a little bit along with my singing. If you know the song Phantom of the Opera.
I'm glad Joel's there.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Your sanity.
Yeah.
Oh, mate. What's been going on with you then, Luke? You had any good observations of anything going on during lockdown?
Oh yeah, you've seen my observation. You're alluding to it there, but
just a little.
I did a funny video about a cat in the road on Instagram.
I haven't heard it. Do tell.
Yeah.
Have you got my Instagram, George?
Yeah. I haven't been on it much like recently.
Yeah, it's just it's not. You have to watch it really. It's just a little one of my little silly things I do.
Yeah. Animals just getting a little bit too big for their boots. Like
Animals are getting too. But basically, this cat just stared at me. We had a
Yeah.
stare down with a cat. I was driving a car, and the cat didn't even care.
Nah.
Just stood there looking at me as if
Neither
to
did the
say,
squirrel in my garden.
I can do what I want. You know, it's like, what's going on?
You should try living down here, where like on the south coast. We went swimming the other day. Usually seals don't come anywhere near humans.
Let's not go into any excess stories here. Let's save them for the.
Yeah.
Just like at 2 seconds, just maybe 10 meters away from us, the seal was swimming next to us and just like poking its head out and looking at us. Eventually it disappeared. But yeah, that's happened.
Yeah. That's
all right,
cool, man.
You win.
You win. There you go. You win. Oh, cat. No, I had a seal.
Where's your Ribena today?
Yeah. You run out.
Yeah, I ran out in like week 3, so I've been known to. I've changed to a mason jar because I'm slightly posh. Yeah,
that's very hipster, mate.
That is.
Drinking out of flipping jars.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, at least you're not drinking Vimto. Not that we have any, I don't know, stakes in Ribena, but definitely.
Yeah, other drinks are available.
Other drinks are available, yeah. I'm not a Vimto fan. It just reminds me too much of Bad Communion wine. Or Bad Communion wine reminds me of Vimto. I'm not sure which way around it is.
Yeah, no.
Right, so today's a bit of a mixed match of stories. So Jordan, we want to start off with a story that really put you sort of on the map, especially with the guys down the South Coast. And that started at this incredible young people's festival called Dynamic, where we have a lot of love, a lot of great memories. And it was your first time. And bearing in mind, so you just had the initiation. And the initiation, for those of you guys who haven't been to Dynamic, is that each year we have like one of the young leaders, they will be asked to be part of the fire briefing. So they're there and someone's doing, so it's a lovely friend of ours, Andy, and he will sort of like be telling you how to do it, and the person will be. And
this is in the context of a bonfire. You were around the bonfire.
Yeah, like how safe it is to get when we're going to roast marshmallows. And then the person's there. So Jordan's there, he's demonstrating, and little does he know, Andy says a phrase line, he says, you know, but we're always prepared just in case someone gets set on fire or something. And little did he know, a bucket of water straight over his head. So the night, it's already chaos, it's already fantastic, it's already a great memory. And then Jordan has to go and up the ante. Now, this is where, Jordan, what did you do to make it slightly, I don't know, nerve-wracking for everyone?
Yeah, so you have to, like, leaders are split between the dorms, and it was prank day. I remember it being prank day because a lot had happened. And my dorm hadn't actually thought of a prank yet. And as we were sitting around, we kind of realised, we kind of started thinking, I was like, lads, that campfire, you get the nod. And like, I briefed them. I'm not going to tell you what I briefed them on. But I went to Chris. I can't remember what I specifically said to Chris.
No, you came up and just asked me for the minibus keys, and
But
you said that someone
I managed to
drive.
get the... well, well, I got the minibus.
I love the fact that a lot of these stories start with Jordan thinking about pranks.
Yeah. Episode 6, Jordan's brain.
Well, I got the minibus keys quite successfully. And I convinced the other leaders. One of them, I think, it was Tom and Luke, if I remember, not this Luke, a different Luke.
Yeah, it was Tom and Luke, yeah. Good lads.
Yeah, and Tom was in the back and Luke was in the front, and we got into the minibus. I never said I had a license. I said I knew how to drive. Kind of bending the truth.
I mean, is that true? Did you know how to drive?
I was having driving lessons at the time. So I got in the minibus.
Saying you know how to fly a plane because you've been in an EasyJet flight or something. Like,
yeah,
you knew the theory. You've done your theory test.
But
no, I don't think you passed it by this point.
I hadn't. A lot of this. I think I might have had. Anyway, I hadn't had a lot of lessons. So I got into this bus.
But just go back. What was the plan here? What in your head? How did you think this was going to go?
So earlier in the day, a woman had driven on site and kidnapped one of our kids. So I told my kids, and I was like,
you need to disclaim that. I don't remember that.
It was a prank. I was like,
I thought we were going to get lawsuits for this one.
Yeah, no names.
That didn't actually happen. I don't remember that. Well, they did that as a joke.
She was one of the leaders. She was like, had a 4x4, but I thought that was quite funny. Like, it got a laugh from me. And so then I told my lads, and I was like, right, everyone dress in bin bags and arm yourself with sticks. Hide in your dorm. When you hear the horn, get out and get in the van. And then I briefed them, and I was like, we're going to raid the campfire. Like, we're going to attack it. Like, we're going to take everyone prisoner.
Yeah.
This is exactly the sort of thing you want to tell to young 13-year-olds.
Bear in mind, there's 80 young people and like 20 leaders, like all around this campfire, just having a really
arm them with sticks and tell them to attack.
You know, we're all having a nice hot chocolate, a few marshmallows, and Jordan says, "I know, lads, I've got a plan."
Dress in bin bags, get your sticks, get in the van.
So I got in the van, and I had to drive it to their dorm because that's where they're getting dressed. So I put it in reverse, and I drove out. At this point, the campfire realised that the minibus was being driven away. Complete darkness. I shouted out the window before I started moving, "If I hit you, it's your fault."
Well, at least you covered yourself there.
Yeah.
Because at that point,
that would have held up in court. That.
Yeah.
Well, this is what I did to as a risk assessment.
That's my disclaimer, and I'm sticking to it.
I reversed it out. It wasn't as easy as I'd hoped. It's different to the Ford Focus I've been learning in.
Yeah, they're like, this is a 17-seater transit van. You're like, this is a huge sort of vehicle.
Old
this
as well,
is
really old. And
being driven by a guy who has had 1 or 2 lessons and not passed
the
the theory
leaders-
test.
I think the leaders started to get a bit nervous at this point. The other
They
two that were
realised
with me.
quite quickly that you didn't know what you were doing, is what they said
So
to me.
So I reversed out, and as I was driving forward, I was like, I was really trying to get away because I was scared there was going to be kids behind me, and I was driving in a direction I didn't think there was going to be any kids. But because I'd only had 1 or 2 lessons,
We had to turn
didn't
the
know
lights
how to
on for
turn
a
them-
start.
I didn't know how to. I didn't. So I was kind of
Bearing in mind
pressing
it's dark at this point. It's pitch black,
it's pitch
dark,
black,
just the
on
fire.
a field. There's no street lamps, and there was a ditch. There was like a little divot,
Big,
wasn't there? Like over,
big
over a
hump
ramp,
down where the football pitch was.
And you went down at an angle. I couldn't believe it didn't flip
Oh,
over.
Before that had happened, the reason I had to do that is I found the lights, I pulled them towards me, so I was now driving like this, and as I pulled them towards me, I looked up, and there was a kid lying on the ground, maybe 30 meters in front of me.
So I was basically you put your main beams on as well. Then, if you did that,
Yeah. So I did
you
that.
blinded a kid and almost run him over.
Yeah.
I did that, and then like put a hard lock on left. So I was going relatively fast at this point in my mind. And then I like, jumped down onto the football pitch, down this ditch, across the football pitch, picked the kids up at their dorm. At this point, I'm still holding the light. I'm still driving like this. Every time I change gear, I have to turn the lights on. The kids are jumping in. One of them wasn't fast enough, so I just started driving as he tried to jump in the back. We left him. He got left.
You left the kid behind.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
at this point.
So can I just ask,
remember that.
what was the rush
Yeah.
at this point?
Oh, the
the
reason we were
fire was still
rushing is
burning.
because some of the leaders and some of the kids from the campfire actually started charging us. And I could see, I can't remember which leader it was, but I remember him being bald. He was charging across this field towards us.
Who was that? A bald guy.
Yeah,
I can't remember who was there. That yeah.
Was it Tim?
Well, okay. Anyway,
Well,
so you
Tim's
got
not
charged
bald,
at by a bald guy.
Yeah, so I remember, he might not have been bald, but he was one of the older leaders. He wasn't young.
Might have been
Anyhow.
Tim then.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so that you got charged at by a leader, and do you reckon
Yes,
they were
that's
actually trying to stop you driving it because you were potentially causing harm to individuals?
Yeah, he was being smart, but in my mind, this was all part of like the plan, and he was like joking around trying to get me to stop. In reality, he was scared of me hitting a kid.
you were still in your kind of fantasy,
Yeah, I can
I'm
do
raiding the camp sort of mindset.
This. It was like he was at
This was
watching
epic.
Speed, just trying to drive over that ramp of on the highway. Remember that bit?
Oh yeah.
Straight over.
So I ended up driving back towards the campfire. I went across the football pitch and up the bump again. Still horrendously dangerous. And I
There
aimed
was
at
a
the
volleyball
campfire.
net as well. There was a volleyball net that I didn't know you driven to the dorms. Like you could have driven straight into the volleyball net.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that
Or-
volleyball net.
And you're saying the goals as well on the field, like mate. It's so
So you
funny.
managed to avoid some miracle. You managed to
Yeah.
avoid all obstacles and other children driving through this
Yeah.
campsite with no experience.
Yeah, and then I charged the campfire, flashing the lights that I'd found, beeping the horn. My kids got out, but the reason like my kids had tried to get out, but we were swarmed at this point and they didn't get anywhere, and it was quite lame. And then out of the darkness, I could just see 2 figures, a taller and then a shorter one, walking towards me. It was Chris and Andy, the camp leader.
Yeah. I'll let you guess which one the shorter one was.
I was getting more and more nervous, and all I can remember is Andy just like a swift knock on the window. That's the worst part. I had to let.
He was so calm. Oh my word!
It was one of those times where like it was clearly a massive violation,
Yeah.
but Andy
Yeah.
was just like, "Can you, Jordan? Can you explain to me why you
Yeah.
driving
He
this
just turned
minibus
around-
from
I
there?"
think he literally just turned around and said, "I think I'll take the keys," and that was it.
Yep. And he
was
took.
that- and there was this because I remember because we were at the fire and I saw the minibus driving round. And bear in mind, I know the clutch and I know the brakes of that van. They weren't good. You're driving down like a gravel path and knowing that you're fast, and if you're going to put the brakes on, that was going to skid. And I just remember turning around to Andy and Libby, who was there, and just being like, guys, you might have to move the kids out of the way. I think that's Jordan driving. That's Jordan's driving. Jordan's driving. And I just remember like freaking out, thinking, oh my word, I've brought someone who's killed a youth group with a minibus.
Yeah, that would be very bad.
And that's the thing. Then we walked over, and then the thing about that night is that it just then went crazy. We had then
it went haywire. It went absolutely mental.
You had girls groups that were fighting and pranking, and you had all sorts of carnage.
Yeah, kids running around in bin bags and sticks.
Yeah.
And we actually had to have a campsite lockdown in the end, didn't we?
Yeah, everyone had to
we lost complete control after that.
I've never known it like that. I think I've done Dynamic 4 times, and I've never ever seen anything like that.
We had kids running around doing all sorts, and we had to get them all to go back to their dorms.
It was crazy.
And lock them. We didn't lock them in, but we had to have words with all of them.
Yeah. I mean, the truth of the matter was, George, you probably would have been sent home if it hadn't have been for everyone that got shut down. And it was just like, guys, let's just pretend like this didn't happen. Let's go to bed. And then we're going in the morning. Yeah. So just get. I
recall the next year we didn't have a prank day.
No, we didn't. That
was a terrible idea. That was it.
I think it was great in principle, but the reality was that.
Yeah, the reality was it created. Yeah. The reality was that we brought Jordan Hard.
We brought Jordan Hard, and
he doesn't need telling to do a prank.
Yeah, but then next year, we then took Jordan and Danny. And that's just, I mean, we got away lightly that year. That was a good year. It's a good camp. But this is usually the kind of thing that happens, boys, does it? When Jordan starts to think or gets an idea, which brings us on to our second story, which is Jordan with Johnny. And usually when there's any thinking between the two of them, mischief and misfortune and carnage ensue. So, Jordan, you've got a nice little story for us, haven't you?
We've heard about Johnny before because he was involved in some of the other stuff.
Yeah,
the tent.
The tent. That was it. Peeing on. Yeah. We found out he peed on Tim Weir's caravan,
which Tim is still not happy about.
I texted him and he wasn't. He didn't accept it. I texted him and I was like, "Tradition?" ? And he was like, "Not one I enjoy."
So he's not a pastor anymore. He doesn't have to forgive everyone.
He made me clean out the toilets for that.
Hey, that's because you blocked his toilet.
Anyway, Johnny.
Moving on, Johnny. Yeah.
You and Johnny just have an idea.
Recently, close to that time, actually, the time that we did the prank on Luke with the tents. Johnny was going off to CYE, where I currently work, and I wanted to spend some time with him. So I borrowed a bicycle trailer from the catch poles. And I was like, Johnny, let's go camping. We'll cycle for a few hours. We'll find a field and we'll camp.
What a nice idea.
Yeah, lovely in principle. I loaded up the trailer with a barbecue, sleeping bags, the tent, big tent, huge tent, too big for two people.
So that's the catchpole tent. That is huge.
Oh, it was the white tent. It was like a big red one. Probably the size of my living room.
Family tents. Both of them, they got big family tents. I've seen.
Wow. Okay.
Either of them is pointless. But you
so you got like a 10 person.
Yeah, maybe more like a 5. It was just, I think it might be a slightly smaller one.
Yeah.
But it was one of their big. Anyway, big tent and a chicken for our dinner, a roast chicken. We were going to pop that in the barbecue with some charcoal. We would go set up the tent and then come back to eat our chicken, go to bed. It's going to be a lovely evening. First things first, I set off.
It sounds very innocent, I must admit. It sounds
everything
sounds like a nice plan. I like the start of the story.
Yeah. Everything bungeed onto the trailer. It's going to pick up Johnny from his road, then we cycle off, and it'd be lovely. Started cycling. First corner, the chicken rolled off the trailer. I swore because I.
So just give us an idea. Where are you cycling? What?
Literally on a crossroads outside my house. I just left 2 minutes ago.
So it's just like a wilderness. Is there any features around? Are you by a river?
Yeah. Oh, at this point, we're still at Box Grove Gardens. There's a housing estate to our left. If you go straight on, you get into the historic town of Guildford.
So you just literally left and the chicken's fallen out.
Yeah, and because I was in the middle of the crossroads, I couldn't stop and get it, and a car was going over it at the point that I got to the other side of the road. So
did a car run over it?
it hadn't like crushed it. It gone over it in a way that made me not want to eat it. It like smacked it to the side, and then I was like, that's gone. Another car's definitely gonna hit that. So I left and went to Johnny. I was like, Johnny, I've got some more chicken drumsticks, like a few. Like we'll eat those, and we'll be fine.
So you lost your chicken early doors.
Yeah, that was the first
early
sign.
doors.
That was the first lemon. I'm gonna do 3 lemons. When you get 3 lemons, you should stop whatever you're doing and turn around because it's gone bad. That's the first lemon.
Okay. I love that. That's your life learning. That you
I've never.
when life gives you lemons, you should turn around and go back.
I think that's
3
completely
lemons.
opposite to the story.
It's like a
of how
slot
it doesn't
machine.
work.
When you're doing the slots, if you get 3 lemons, that's bad. 3 lemons, so that's our first one. So me and Johnny
I
cycle off.
thought that's good in a slot machine context.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Isn't
very.
that the jackpot?
So basically, your first lemon is you went round a corner too fast with a chicken that wasn't securely strapped, and now you don't have a chicken for dinner.
No more chicken. All right, okay. So you
So-
carry on.
Yeah. So we cycle off into off towards the Godalming direction. Maybe an hour and a half later, we become like thinking, yeah, we set off late in the evening. We set off really late. We're like, we should probably find somewhere to sleep. Carried on a little bit later, maybe like 8:30 at night. We get to this place that I thought would be perfect for camping. In reality, it was where a lot of Nazis hang out because there was a lot of Nazi graffiti and cigarette butts and alcohol bottles.
That is the weird. There's so many details to these stories that I just don't even know. So you went to like a known Nazi hangout spot.
And at this point, Johnny was like, "We can't camp here," and I was like, "There's nowhere else. I can't think that we have. This is the only spot we have to camp in." So we set up the tent.
You've not planned this well so far, have you? You just looking for a random space.
What drew you to this location then, George?
I'd cycled there a few months before and remembered it wrong.
Oh, I love that.
So in your head, you had this nice picturesque location, and in reality, it was like a sort of glass bottles, cigarette butts, and swastikas everywhere.
Yeah, it was not nice. It was horrendous. Second lemon. Second lemon. Second lemon.
Yeah, second lemon.
Nice one.
Second lemon.
Yeah,
Second lemon. Okay, right. Continue.
Yeah. At this point, we set the tent up, and it's dark. At this point, it's dark, and me and Johnny go to light the barbecue. And it doesn't work. No, that's not good. And we go to light it again, and it doesn't work.
So what sort of barbecue are we talking here?
A little round one with some like 3 legs.
Okay, so it's not like a disposable one. It's like a
Not
proper
one.
little...
No, yeah, it's a real barbecue.
Yeah. Enough heat on the charcoal.
Yeah. So then we realised that we thought we were in the wilderness. So we were like, we'll cycle back where we came from, then we'll find a road and follow the road. We found out we were only 5 minutes away from Godalming town centre. That was a bit of a shock for us. We thought we were really.
Well, the fact I'm more concerned about how Godalming, being probably one of the poshest places in the whole of England, has got some Nazi hangout place.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about that.
Near the watering plant. Anyway, so we went to Sainsbury's, and I don't know why we didn't just buy nice food, but for some reason we bought a newspaper to light our fire. At this point, all thinking had gone out the window. We were cold. We were really hungry. We also hadn't brought anything to sleep with, apart from one duvet. We had one duvet between the two of us. That was the third lemon. We've got 3 already. Let's see how many we can get. We got back to.
I think there's more lemons to come, if I'm honest.
Yeah, we got back to the site.
3 lemons, and at this point, you're probably too committed at that point to really do anything about it.
Yeah.
So you bought. So you thought you'd light your barbecue with a newspaper.
Yeah. Yeah.
You literally just bought a newspaper at Sainsbury's.
We could have brought something delicious, a rotisserie chicken or any other food apart from a newspaper.
You could have
something, a Snickers.
At least a snack, like something to eat.
Nothing. We bought a newspaper. We cycled back to our barbecue. scared that it was going to be full of Nazi sympathizers. They found the tent and they've gone, perfect shelter. I get to the barbecue, and all I can remember at this point, I think the rest of it has been excluded from my mind in anger, is I try to light the barbecue. As I'm lighting it, Johnny's off having a wee. I stand up. I accidentally kick the barbecue into the river.
You accidentally kicked it in. I mean,
Losing everything.
how close did you set up the barbecue to the river?
Very on the edge. I managed to grab each piece of the barbecue, like individually as it was going in. But the charcoal was soaked. There was no chance. At this point, it was like 10:30 at night, and we were like, it was rough. At this point.
Can I ask why you set it up so close to the river?
Why did you leave so late as well?
I don't know. All of these questions, great questions. There's no answer.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then
so
we
you
start
knocked it into the
texting.
river.
Yeah, so, and that's is that 4 lemons now? 4 lemons.
Yeah, 4
Yeah,
lemons.
you've had 4 lemons.
Yeah.
So you
We're
got no
really
food.
hungry now. We hadn't eaten in like almost 12, like not 12 hours. We hadn't eaten since lunch. I was getting a bit emotional. I was tired, and we start texting people. And I managed to text a few people. Daisy Edwards was like, "I'm willing to get my dad to buy you pizza." I managed to get my dad to order us some pizza.
You
Random
ordered
road.
a pizza to this
It's random.
this little
It doesn't have a
campsite
postcode.
Nazi place.
Would you give
It
like a
doesn't.
pin
It doesn't
drop
have a
on
postcode.
WhatsApp?
The Nazis haven't organised it with the postal service.
There's a reason for that.
So we walked to this road, quite like maybe 10 minutes away, in the darkness, soaking wet. It started raining,
Oh
and
my God.
we sat, and we just sat, and we sat, and we sat. My dad had said pizza's on its way. Our phones then ran out of charge, so we didn't know. The bloke from the pizza cup, because my dad had to order it to a house to get it delivered to the road that we're at. The Domino's man turned up, went to the house, knocked on the house, no answer. It's almost 11 at night at this point. Went back, knocked on the house. We were trying to talk to him and be like, "Mate, that's our pizza, Michael Hard, that's my dad." And he was like, "Can't get it to the house." And at this point, I was fuming because he got back in his
Your dad
car.
ordered the pizza to someone's house, and the pizza arrived, and they wouldn't give it to you.
So he got back in his car and he was like, "I'm going to sort this."
Okay.
And we were just sitting on this road, just watching him as he called the store. The store then called my dad. My dad then tried to call me, didn't get through. And my dad was like, ask his middle name. And I remember getting across, it was Christopher. The guy didn't speak much English, so we managed to like discuss it, and I got the pizza.
I can't believe there's that much effort to get
What
a pizza.
ridiculous!
At
Yeah,
least you got
fifth,
some food.
fifth lemon then. We
Fifth
walk
lemon.
back. It's raining. It's horrendous. This is nothing like the tranquil camping trip that we pictured.
No.
We get back to the tent. We eat as much pizza as we can in the short space of time, and we're really tired at this point. And then we go to bed.
Oh,
I think we'd realised that we had a portable charger at this point, so then we started charging the phones. And
That would have been best discovered earlier on then.
just a little bit earlier.
And we slept with the duvet lengthways, like so it wasn't covering hardly any of us. And we used the pizza boxes as pillows because we've got pillows, and there was no ground sheets, so we were freezing. Yeah, and then I woke up the next morning and I looked at the date and I realised, and I was like, crap. Ooh. I realised, oh no,
You can't take that back now.
it's exams results day, and I'm not, and they stop you had to be there by a certain time to collect your results. And at
It's
this point,
results day.
it was results day. And I hadn't realised. I only realised when someone texted me what time you're coming in. So at this point, I'm recording, and we're like packing down
Someone
the
texted
tent.
you, and you were in the middle of a Nazi forest spot outside of Godalming. I mean, how far was it away from your school?
That's the town away, isn't it? So it must be. Yeah, I was at Christ.
It's a bit of time though.
Oh, we're not in Godalming. We're the other side of Godalming, like near the So and then
This is great. Oh my word!
so we packed down this tent. We couldn't fit it back in the bag. It never fit. So we like bungee strapped that on as happily, like reattached everything to the bike. So I remember like we tried to dismantle the trailer from the bike for some reason. And we set off at a sprint. And instead of going across the river, we decided to go the roads because the roads were faster than the river.
Yeah.
And I was wearing full cycling gear,
especially via bike.
and like a t-shirt and those special shorts. And I roll up to my exam results on Johnny's bike. I borrowed his bike. We swapped bikes for some reason. Yeah, and I got my exam results in like covered in mud, like exhausted, like probably like tomato sauce on me from the pizza box that we've been sleeping in.
That's not odd. You were sleeping in the box.
Like you don't
pizza box.
like fold it up, so it was like, so you, yeah, bad experience. And then I didn't speak to Johnny for a little while, and a few weeks later I saw him.
What? Because
Mate, that is a classic.
What is that about, man?
I mean, I'm never letting you plan a camping trip ever.
No, ever.
Oh yeah, I camped the other night. Actually, that was fun. We just walked to Cobham Point and camped, and that was lovely.
You learned some lessons from the lemons you got last time.
That's the thing, yeah. These lemons are learning points. Like charged phone.
There's an easy way and a hard way to learn things.
I learned from my mistakes.
That was a pun there. A hard one.
Nice one. Okay, but Jordan, I think we've probably only got time for one more story. And actually, I think this story is best if Luke tells it, and then I'll let you respond. So
we'll go for it. This is the first time I've had to tell a story.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this one because Luke tells this one very well.
This is the classic. We told everyone this before you went to Chichester, just to ruin your reputation.
Exactly, yeah. So this story starts off in a Wetherspoons, which is always a good way to start a story. So Luke,
it is, yeah. So, well, basically, we were in Guildford one day, and me and Jordan. Well, I don't know who contacted who actually, but we decided we'd go for a drink together. Nothing, not like a big crazy sesh or anything. We were just gonna go have a pint, have a meal, have a little chat, and then head home. Catch up. Just a bit of discipleship, whatever. Like Jordan's book says. Brotherhood. Yeah. So we went off to the Spoons in Guildford, which incidentally is massive.
Yeah.
It's one of the biggest spoons I've seen. It's got two floors.
Huge. It's a good one.
And it's got the Academy of Contemporary Music attached to it. Very strange place. But so we decided to go to Spoons, and we went upstairs. We got ourselves our seats, and we went to order our food. Now, I wonder what would you commonly order at Spoons, Chris?
Mate, I usually go for like either the ribs or the burger or a hot dog.
Yeah, just a burger, ribs.
Just something simple.
Would you ever think of ordering a pizza?
It's not my go-to.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So
that's my go-to if I go to Pizza Express.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Jordan's ordered a pizza anyway, and not only has he ordered a pizza, he thought, have some garlic bread. I suppose that's a pretty reasonable thing to think if you're ordering.
If you're gonna have pizza,
he orders his pizza. He orders his garlic bread. I'm not going to lie, and I'll tell you this now very clearly to everyone: never order garlic bread at Spoons. It's not known for garlic bread, and there is a reason for that.
Yeah,
it was the most horrendous substance I've seen in my life, wasn't it, George? It was awful. This garlic bread arrives, and I can't really remember what it looked like. I just remembered it kind of taste. Was it like flat? It was like a flat kind of.
Yeah. It looked like a pizza without anything on it, and then with garlic sauce on top.
Oh, okay, it's one of those. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those type of deals. So this thing arrives, and Jordan's like, "Oh, Luke, you can have a slice if you want." Okay, fine, I'll try it. Anyway, I have a bite, and it is potent. I don't know what the garlic percentage content is on that garlic bread.
So basically, do you want some bread with that?
Just one little nibble I had, and it was like. Like kind of like when like you taste something, the taste is so strong, you think this is not right.
Yeah.
Me and Jordan both thought this when we had it, and it wasn't good, was it, George?
No, I decided though I wasn't going to waste my money. I bought that garlic bread. I'm going to eat it.
So that's what Jordan decided. Yeah. He thought to himself that he would just eat it anyway, and he powered through like a champ. He just absolutely pushed through, ate all the garlic bread, ate his pizza.
Yeah, nothing.
We had a lovely time. We had a nice little chit chat, and time came for us to go home. And I like to think the garlic bread is probably linked to this. Yeah. Oh, Jordan's going for a walk now.
He's just got to make sure he keeps Wi-Fi while we're still
Now, your
recording.
Wi-Fi's cut
Yeah, I
out.
need to get my phone
I'll
charged. Sorry,
continue the story.
Yeah, you keep going.
This is like some weird
Is it?
show now.
I
I hope you're not going
be
to the
honest,
toilet or
I
something.
was going to say, have you eaten garlic again, Jordan?
Yeah, just the thought of this. Anyway, so we are starting to walk back towards church,
Yeah.
which
Holy place.
is where I think I parked. I can't remember what we were doing. Oh yeah, Jordan had to meet his friends. I think his mates were like in town, and he had to meet them for some reason. They were doing some crazy nonsense, and I was just going to go home. And it was during the day. This was daylight. You know, it was summer.
Yeah.
Walking back by the river, and we passed the White House pub, which you know, Guildford, the nice little pub. We're going down the road towards the car park, and I'm talking to Jordan, and as I'm talking to him, I'm telling him, so I'm going on about something or other, and he just stops in the middle of the road, and I'm carrying on walking. I stop for that. You right there, George? George, and he I don't know why I said George there. That came out weird. And he put his hand on his bum, and he had this kind of shocked facial expression on his face, like, and he went, "Oh no!" And I was looking at him, like we were literally mid conversation, and he'd stopped and he did that, and I said, "You right there, George? What's going on?" And he was like, "Oh no! I think I've just pooed myself." And I was like, "What? What do you mean?" He's like, "Oh, I farted and I think I've pooed myself." And he was wearing shorts as well, and they were like kind of cream-coloured shorts. Was that right? Something like that. Anyway, he's standing there, holding his bum, just standing in the middle of the road. And I was like, "Right, George, well, we need to move from this position. You need to start walking." And he's like, "I'm not sure if I can." And at that point, I think he asked me, or he was at least thinking that he might just be able to stand there in the middle of the road and not move. And I go get my car and pick him up. And I made it clear that was not going to happen, and that he would not be getting in my car.
Yeah, just in case he backfires.
And that he had to walk. So he started waddling towards church. Anyway, so we managed to get him to church. It wasn't that far. It was like I don't know. It's not far, is it? I don't know how. It's like less than 5 minutes to church from there. And so he rushes in, and he goes straight to the toilet, removes his undergarments.
Yeah, like that.
Puts his shorts back on, right? Sorts himself out basically, and then he runs outside to the local park. There's a tiny little park, isn't there? Like a tiny little park. Little green space. Gated, and he goes in there and puts his pants in the bin. And that's pretty much it. And then you went off and had some fun with your mates, didn't you, or something?
Yeah, I went commando.
Yeah, but Luke, just one more thing you've missed, mate, is what he says to you afterwards.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, so after all this, I'm in the car park, just waiting to see if he's all right. He comes out. And he says, and he looks at me, and he already knows that this story is going to spread like wildfire.
Yeah,
he's with me, and he's pooed himself.
Yeah,
there is no doubt that is going to come out at some point within the congregation.
Oh mate, and that's the wrong phrase to use right now.
Yeah, that's probably the wrong phrase. That it's going to. I don't know the phrase, but people are going to know very shortly. Anyway, Jordan looks at me and he says to me. He's saying it as he's walking out. He's like, just give me 2 days. Just give me 2 days before you tell anyone. And I was thinking to myself, what is he going to do with those 2 days?
It's going to have some elaborate story.
Is he going to come up with some great story to divert it? I don't know. So anyway,
or some money to keep you, some hush money for you or something like
that.
So
he says that, and we go our separate ways. And then
I was 18 at this point. I was an adult legally.
Yeah. Well, you were at a pub, so that I mean that is good. I think the next day, did you tell Chris or something like that, George?
No, the next day I went into church.
Was it me that told him?
Blissfully unaware that my secret had been told.
to everyone.
Until I got until I got hinted at me quite. Yeah.
So I think probably the first person I told was probably Chris. I was like,
I know.
I can't remember in what situation, but I'd come back at some point and I said,
I think you just messaged me and said, "You'll never guess. Jordan just pooed himself."
Yeah, I had to tell someone. I had to share.
Had to share.
So I broke that kind of 2 days promise pretty instantly. And I think that was your justification for putting the fish in my sleeping bag, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yes. There was something.
I think that was the reason, or like some horrible thing you did to me. You justified it because I told everyone that you pooed yourself.
Yeah.
And so I went. So I thought, well, I need to spread this even further now. Yeah. So I'm from Chichester, where he's moved to, and I know people there, and I know people who are connected to CYE. So I made it known. I told Tim Crosley, who's probably one of them. He's the sort of guy you want to spread news around.
Yeah.
And so everyone knew. Everyone knew the whole. I think everyone knew at Dynamic when you turned up that you proved yourself. I'm not sure if you had done it.
They did. And anyone who didn't, we made sure they soon did.
Yeah, we spread the story pretty quick. So yeah, that was great. That was a classic. That was a Jordan classic, really.
There's some good stories there. Jordan, have you got anything to respond to that story, or is it just that's how it was?
Yeah. Don't order the garlic bread at spoons.
Did you have any repercussions afterwards?
Nothing like the chili powder.
No. I don't think the garlic bread moved through my system that quickly to make me poo myself, but it's a good thing to blame it on.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I've actually since fallen in love with that garlic bread a little bit. It's disgusting. It's not that nice, but you know when something's so bad, it makes you want it more. That's that garlic bread.
That sounds like an unhealthy relationship, mate. You need to
break that relationship off, mate.
Yeah, you need some help.
I don't think that will help you lose 2 stone.
Yeah.
Although you can't eat it now anyway because we're in lockdown.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's a real shame.
Right, Jordan, have you got a little extract from us from your book just to finish
Yeah.
off?
Short one. Anyone who's watching this and wants a copy of the book, next paycheck, I'm going to order some and then send some out. So send me your address and I'll send you a book. Free of charge. Look at that. Yeah.
You lucky viewers, text us. Text me, Chris or Jordan, and you can get your hands on a book.
Remember, it's the gift that makes you want to say thank you. Isn't that what it was?
It's the gift that makes you want to give him money.
That's the one. That's it.
Yeah, I'll send you a free book if you can transfer me 30 quid.
It's like when a drug dealer offers you like a sample of cocaine. Yeah. It's just like you have a little taste and then you just want more.
Yeah. That's basically what we're comparing Jordan's book to. It's okay.
It's not a good comparison there, is it? Yeah. Apologies for that.
This chapter is called The Summary. It's the last chapter. It's where I get the most passionate. It's where I talk about Jesus as well.
Nice. That's a good way.
Here we go.
Good way to go.
Right, ready. Read away.
Go on, Pastor Jordan.
Just the start of this chapter. This is going to be the longest chapter, but probably the last. I started to write this book as a bit of a passion project. And then suddenly I realised how cool it would be to put everything in my brain into a few muddled words on the page. It's exciting, and I'm sorry I've lied to you about it being a pub. It's not about a pub. And I'm sorry there are some chapters that are only a few sentences long. I'm sorry about all the grammar and all the small and silly mistakes I've made along the way. But it's going to be exciting, so keep reading. That's the last chapter.
Nice. Oh, hello,
So you've got chapters that are like a couple of sentences long?
Yeah.
Exaggeration.
No, it's an exaggeration.
It's harder to write
for comedic effect or whatever, like that.
Yeah. But yeah.
Nice one. It's a good
thought,
Jordan. Cool. All right, guys, that's episode 5 of Hard Times.
Pub saved my life. I'm very excited.
Right, you're still there?
That actually.
Yeah, we know. We read it every week.
Yeah, and you brought it this time, so we can't.
Brought it this time.
About it. We can't laugh about you not bringing a book, but we can laugh about you pooing yourself. So on that note, we'll see you next week, guys. Take care.
Yep. See you next week.